the President-elect, Yoweri Uhuru Kenyatta Museveni, together with your entourage, Your Excellencies, the visiting heads of state and government, the leaders of delegations and representatives of government, Your Excellencies, the former heads of state present, His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Uganda, and all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have the honor, first of all, to introduce to you my colleagues, the members of the Uganda Electoral Commission, with whom we strive to navigate through the, at times, turbulent electoral waters. Hajati Aisha Lubega, Deputy Chairperson. Commissioner Stephen Tashovia. Commissioner Peter Emerald. Commissioner Caroline Bainemari. Commissioner Dr. Simba Kayunga Sali. Commissioner Anthony Okello. Together with our Secretary to the Commission, Mr. Richard Babo Kamugisha, and all the staff of the Electoral Commission who are here present. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Uganda, I wish to welcome you all to this solemn occasion where we are about to witness the swearing-in of the President-elect of the Republic of Uganda for the next 5 years. Distinguished guests, Article 61, Clause 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda uncompromisingly requires the Electoral Commission to hold presidential, general parliamentary, and local government elections within the first 30 days of the last 122 days before the expiration of the term of the President, Parliament, or local government councils, as the case may be. According to Article 105, Clause 1 of the Constitution, the person elected as President of Uganda shall hold office for a term of 5 years. Now, having been sworn in and assumed office on the 12th of May 2021, the term of the office holder expires today, therefore. And Article 105, Clause 3, explicitly states that the office of the President shall become vacant on the expiration of the period specified in this article. The lowering of the national flag we have just witnessed signifies that the said office is vacant as we talk now. But do not get alarmed or start developing strange ideas. We are going to fill that void in a few moments from now. Accordingly, the Electoral Commission, in fulfillment of Articles 61(2) and 105(1) of the Constitution, organized conducted and held presidential elections on Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. Articles 103, Clause 7 of the Constitution and Section 59 of the Presidential Elections Act require the Electoral Commission to ascertain, publish, and declare the results of the presidential election within 48 hours from the close of polling. I'm glad to announce the Electoral Commission accomplished that onerous task on the 17th of January 2026 when it declared the final results. Let me unequivocally state it here that the Commission complied with all the requirements of the law regarding the handling of the results, right from the polling station to the district tally center and to the national tally center. From the declared results, candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni emerged as the winner, he having satisfied the requirements of Article 103, Clause 4 of the Constitution and Section 54, Subsection 4 of the Presidential Elections Act, which stipulate that, I quote, a candidate shall not be declared elected as president unless the number of votes cast in favor of that candidate at the presidential election is more than 50% of the valid votes cast at the election. End of quote. Candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni obtained 71.6% of the valid votes cast, which was well over and above the 50% threshold, and was therefore declared elected president. I do congratulate you, candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for being elected president of the Republic of Uganda for another term. I also congratulate your team, which worked tirelessly to ensure that you secure this victory. I also congratulate all the candidates who offered themselves and participated in the presidential, parliamentary, and local government councils elections. On behalf of the Commission, I further extend our deep appreciation to all our esteemed stakeholders in the electoral process. These include the government, which wholly and fully funded all the electoral programs, the political parties and organizations that offered candidates and also participated in this process, the civil society organizations, education organizations, the media, our development partners, security agencies, election observers, religious leaders, cultural leaders, among others, for all the support and the various roles you played to ensure successful, peaceful conduct and conclusion . Uganda. On the 15th of January 2026, the millions of citizens who are registered voters left their homes and proceeded to their respective polling stations. 50,739 stations scattered in all corners of the country for the singular purpose of exercising their sovereign power enshrined in Article 1 of the Constitution. The said article expressly states that, quote, "The people shall express their will and consent on who shall govern them and how they should be governed through regular, free and fair elections of their representatives or through referenda," end of quote. In so doing, the citizens of this country demonstrated their unflinching resolve and awareness that the destiny of this country lies solely in their hands. Further, that whatever the challenges or distortions on the democratic path, these can and shall always be resolved by Ugandans and here in this country. They rejected fear and embraced hope, realizing that the enormous potential available in this wonderfully gifted country can only be harnessed in an environment of peace and stability. They have therefore rejected any form of instability. It is for the said reasons that the people of Uganda maintained an environment of peace and tranquility, respecting one another as they calmly went about the business of casting their votes for the candidate of one's choice. I salute you, the citizens of this country, for enabling today's event to take place. Needless to say, if you are not going to go now, if you are not going out to vote in those polling stations, we probably, most probably, would not be here. And now, on behalf of the Electoral Commission, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to introduce to you all the President-elect, the one whom, out of 8 candidates, the people of Uganda preferred, Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni. And I would ask him to step forward and come to the podium. Mr. President-elect, can you please come to the podium?
What is it? Yes!
My Lord, the Chief Justice, I also ask you to come to the podium and preside over the next proceedings. Chief Justice of Uganda, accompanied by the Chief Registrar and the Head of Public Service and Secretary to Cabinet. Madam Lucy, please come to the podium. Your Lordship, the Chief Justice of Uganda, I hereby present to you Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, the President-elect, he having fulfilled all requirements as directed by the Constitution and the Presidential Elections Act. You can now proceed to administer the oath of allegiance and the oath of the President so that the people of Uganda can have the President they prefer to so many. Long live the people of Uganda, long live the people of East Africa, long live the people of Africa. For God and my country, thank you very much. God bless you.
Balindiway! Yesu!
I, Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God. I, Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I shall faithfully exercise the functions of the President of Uganda and shall uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and observe the laws of Uganda, and that I shall promote the welfare of the people of Uganda. So help me God.
The vacuum has been filled.
His Excellency the President has successfully taken the oath of allegiance and the oath of presidency. He is now signing on the respective protocols. Excellencies, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a new president. Who will take us through the presidential term 2026-2031. Thank you, NRM cadres. Thank you, NRM leaders. Thank you, NRM mobilizers. His Excellency the President is signing and the Chief Justice is leading him through that procedure. His Excellency the President will now receive the instruments of power of the Republic of Uganda. He has received the Constitution. His Excellency is now receiving the national flag. Those are the instruments of power. Next, His Excellency the President is going to receive the presidential standard flag. His Excellency the President has received the presidential standard flag. Instruments of power. He has received the national anthem, the Uganda national anthem. And His Excellency the President is now receiving the National Coat of Arms. The National Coat of Arms. And he is, last but not least, receiving the public seal. His Excellency the President has received the public seal. So our newly elected President, who has successfully been sworn in and inaugurated, has received all the 6 instruments of power.
Yes, sir.
The Constitution, the national flag, the presidential standard flag, the national anthem, the national coat of arms, and the public seal. He has also received the Chief of Defense Forces has handed over to His Excellency the President the instrument of power of the Republic of Uganda. The head of public service is the custodian of the instruments of power, and they have indeed been.
Yes, sir.
His Excellency the President is now proceeding to receive the national service. Parade Commander. After His Excellency the President receives the presidential salute, we shall have the national anthem concurrently with the 21-gun salute. Parade Commander.
Slide, begin, we go. Salam, ambulance. Asma, Slide, begin, we go. Bwana nageuka nyuma. Nyuma, geuka. Mstari nyuma. Bwana nakaa. Usakat. Bara tembea.
They are finished. They are finished. It's already up. Okay, it's done. The flag, maybe just one else. The flag has been hoisted. And we now start the new time. Start.
Mstari nyuma. Nyuma, geuka. Usakat. Salam ya Rais. Heshima tu. Tulia. Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri wa Uganda na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu, gwaride rasmi la kuapisha iliyoandaliwa na Jeshi la Ulinzi ya Wananchi wa Uganda iko tayari kwa ukaguzi wako, Mheshimiwa Rais.
His Excellency the President is now proceeding to inspect the parade for the first time as the newly inaugurated President of the Republic of Uganda. Excellencies, the presidential standard flag was earlier lowered, but it has now been hoisted, marking the beginning of the presidential term 2031.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very big round of applause to Her Excellency, the Vice President, Honorable Jessica Lupo, for managing very well that segment of the program. We earlier on saw the President take the oath of allegiance, the oath of the President, and then receive the instruments of power of the Republic of Uganda. He also received the instruments of national defense from the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor, Special Operations General Museveni Kainerugaba, and those included the shield and the scimitar or the General's sword, and they were well received, and we now have the President fully in charge as willed by the majority of the people of Uganda on 15th January 2026. His Excellency the President is inspecting the parade, which is now in the Alpha and Omega formation for the first time as President in the new term 2026-2031. His Excellency the President and the Commander-in-Chief is accompanied by the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations, General Museveni Kainerugaba, and the Parade Commander, Brigadier General John Bosco Asinguza. Once the President and Commander-in-Chief has concluded inspecting the parade, we will have the parade march past in slow and quick time, and also an arms display of selected UPDF arms. They will join in after the parade has marched past in a quick time. And the UPDF arms expected to join the parade are the UPDF paratroopers under the Special Forces Command, the Artillery Division, the Motorized Infantry Division, some of our anti-aircraft systems, and finally, by some platforms of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force. The newly sworn-in President of the Republic of Uganda for the new term 2026-2031 is still inspecting the parade. The UPDF arms that will join the parade later on are the paratroopers, the artillery division, the motorized infantry division, anti-aircraft systems, and the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The Uganda People's Defense Forces will have, the Uganda People's Defense Air Forces will have the Cobra formation, composed of helicopters, the Sparrow formation, the Eagle formation, the Puma formation, and the Tiger formation. His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief, accompanied by the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations, is just about to conclude the noble duty of inspecting the parade as Commander-in-Chief for the first time in the new administration that will run from this day, May 12, 2026, to May 12, 2031.
Mheshimiwa Rais, huo ndio mwisho wa ukaguzi wa gwaride ya kuapisha, na waomba kuendelea na gwaride. Mheshimiwa Rais.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the President-elect, now sworn-in President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, has finished inspecting the parade. He will shortly be ushered into his position, and then we will have the parade march in slow and quick time, followed by arms display elements that will also participate in the parade, and thereafter the parade will march in review order. Earlier on, we witnessed the noble and constitutional duty performed by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and the Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda. We also thank Her Excellency the Vice President for managing that part of the program very well. His Excellency the President is resuming his position in the very, very important persons tent, and thereafter the parade commander will take over and conduct the parade in slow and quick time.
Mistari nyuma, mwana raka, usawa kat, mbare tumio. Nafsas Japangi
The parade commander, Brigadier General John Bosco Senguza, has invited the brass band composed of the UPDF, the Uganda Police, and the Uganda Prison Service to assume their position as the parade prepares for the march past in slow and quick time.
Parade itapita mbele kwa heshima, kwa mwendo wa pole na mwendo wa haraka. Kikundi cha kwanza chuongoza kwa ujumla, chapa miguu.
Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the color party is right in front of the dais, and we salute the color party. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the parade is now in slow march. Enjoy the parade. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the parade has switched to quick march. And at the end of the quick march, we will have UPDF arms that I earlier pointed out joining the parade. The paratroopers under the Special Forces Command, the Artillery Division, the Motorized Infantry Division, some of our anti-aircraft systems, and air platforms of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force. A very colorful parade on a very auspicious occasion, and the weather is beautiful indeed. Just what we would have wished for. The color party is right here with us in quick march. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, like I had earlier alerted you, the parade is now being joined by UPDF arms. We will have the paratroopers land on these grounds anytime from now. But in the meantime, the arms display is led by the UPDF Artillery Division. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing now in front of you is some of the UPDF arms that have joined the parade at this point, led by the UPDF Artillery Division. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the story of the UPDF has been told for a long time, but every time the story is as fascinating to listen to as the first time. The UPDF traces its humble beginnings to the National Resistance Army, a small guerrilla force that launched a protracted people's struggle in February 1981 under the indefatigable leadership and visionary leader of the resistance, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. This was a small and tiny group of fighters, 42 in number, 27 armed, which attacked Kabamba on February 6, 1981. In 1986, the NRA became the National Army, and upon the adoption of the 1995 Constitution, was renamed the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The NRA, now UPDF, has transformed over the years, and these are some of the very modern equipment in the possession of the Uganda People's Defense Forces that has ensured we keep the peace and security in our country and contribute to regional peace and stabilization operations. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, in front of you are still elements of the UPDF Artillery Division. Today, the UPDF is a very robust and modern, powerful military force that has achieved many things over the years. The peace and security, which I just talked about, anchored on key modernization and professionalization themes such as equipped and trained for combat and peace support operations. And indeed, what you see here are some of those arms that define the UPDF as a modern, experienced combat force that is ready to do its job. The Field Artillery Division is commanded by Major General Daniel Kakono. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, right now in front of you are elements of the Motorized Infantry Division of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. These are armored fighting vehicles, very important force multipliers on the battlefield that work closely with infantry troops to achieve our military objectives. These are elements of the Motorized Infantry Division. The UPDF is equipped and trained for combat, and we are ready for any assignment as guided by the President and the Commander-in-Chief. The UPDF has also greatly enhanced its rapid deployment capability and our ability to sustain the tempo of operations in any environment. As you can see, the different arms of the UPDF imply the UPDF's well-attained capability to conduct joint combined operations, enhancing our interoperability between the different services and arms, and ensuring we keep at pace with modern technology systems. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, these are still elements of the UPDF Motorized Infantry Division. As a modern, well-constituted and organized People's Army, the UPDF is made up of 4 services. We have the Land Forces, the Air Forces, the Special Forces Command, and the Reserve Force. The UPDF Artillery Division and the Motorized Infantry Division are ground-based force multipliers that support the infantry to decisively achieve their military objective. The Uganda People's Defense Forces are well trained, well equipped, and there is no task that is too difficult for the UPDF to achieve. Indeed, as a reminder, and especially as information for some of our visitors today, the NRA, now Uganda People's Defense Forces, since the 1995 Constitution, has decisively defeated close to 30 insurgent groups that sought to destabilize the hard-won peace and stability in our country. We are aware that our immediate post-independence history was nothing but volatile, a period of great instability that was characterized by military dictatorships and governments of the day that had no respect for human rights, that instituted state-inspired violence against defenseless citizens. And as the Motorized Infantry Division concluded their march past, we are now joined, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, by some of the UPDF anti-aircraft systems that have now also joined the parade. What you are seeing before you are some of the UPDF anti-aircraft systems. They supplement the efforts of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force to keep Uganda's airspace safe and secure, and to engage from the ground hostile objects in the air within the territory of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the functions of the Defense Forces include the preservation, and defense of our sovereignty and territorial integrity of this country. And as you can see, we are well equipped to undertake that function. We also cooperate with and support the civilian authority in national emergencies and other disasters. And most importantly, we promote and foster strong harmony, understanding between the defense forces and the wananchi. Your Excellencies, before you are still some of the systems of the Uganda People's Defense Forces and aircraft capabilities. They are part of this parade. Any moment now, we will also witness the dropping of paratroopers on these very grounds. The other arm of the UPDF, the Uganda People's Defense Air Force, will also join the parade any moment from now, approaching these parade grounds from the eastern direction. From its early beginnings and its inception, the UPDF has been built on a strong foundation of discipline, ethics, and accountability. We respect the rule of law, we respect human rights, and we adhere to our military code of conduct. And those who fail to keep pace with the laws of Uganda and those of the military, we have our justice systems that ensure we remain a disciplined and accountable force. And perhaps our strongest and most important force multiplier is our strong civil-military cooperation. The UPDF is because of the strong support we get from the wananchi, but also quite significant has been the consistent and visionary support and the guidance of His Excellency the President and the Commander-in-Chief, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, that has turned us into what we are. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests here, our paratroopers are already airborne. Our paratroopers are already airborne, and they will be landing on these very grounds. In 1986, and even in the 1990s, the UPDF did not have any special forces, let alone paratroopers to talk about.
This one's up will be obstructing the people there so they can come down.
And in this respect, I want to salute the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who was for a long time the commander of the Special Forces Command and who oversaw the development and improved capability of Uganda's Special Forces and the paratroopers whom we are about to see land on these very, very special ceremonial grounds here at Kololo. Our paratroopers are already airborne. Those who have and still possess good sight have probably already seen some, and they are descending here in a very controlled and orderly fashion. These are your own sons and daughters, paratroopers a very important element of the Special Forces Command. Mwena abatulaba, Abannayuganda abali wano n'abagenyi baffe abakulu, yonna gye muli, tuli ku mukolo wano e Kololo Ceremonial Grounds, mukolo mukulu, mukolo munene ogubadde gw'okulayiza omukulembeze w'eggwanga ayalondebwa n'Abannayuganda mu ngeri nnene nnyo ng'ayina 71.65% ey'obululu bwonna. Paredi yaffe eyeggatiddwako n'ebimu ebibinja ebikulu ebya UPDF okubadde Artillery Division edduumirwa Major General Daniel Kakono, the Motorized Infantry Division edduumirwa Major General Charles Byanyima, UPDF anti-aircraft systems ezidduumirwa Brigadier General Kasauli, aba paratroopers, aba UPDF abadduumirwa Special Forces Command, Commander wa Special Forces gyali wano Major General David Mugisha ng'ayambibwako mumyuka we Brigadier General Asaf Nyakikuru ne Parade Commander aduumira ekibinja ekisooka kya Special Forces Group Brigadier General John Bosco Singuza era nga ye Parade Commander olunaku olwaleero. UPDF ezimbye obukugu n'obumalirivu nti tusobola okukuuma eggwanga lyaffe bulungi. So waliwo omu paratrooper alandinze wano munamaje owa UPDF atuuse avudde mu bbanga. Buno bwe bukugu bwe tugamba obwa UPDF bwerina, era nga ebibinja bino byonna ebya UPDF bikolaganira wamu okulaba nti tukuuma eddembe mu ggwanga lyaffe ne mu operation zonna ze tubeeramu mu mirirwana gyaffe okulaba nti tulina eddembe mu nsi yaffe n'abalirwana baffe. UPDF twagala si ggwanga lyokka, naye tulina n'obuvunaanyizibwa bw'okulaba nti tukolera wamu nga Africa okukuuma eddembe n'okulaakulanya kontinenti yaffe eya Africa. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, we've seen some of our paratrooper commandos who are landing. They descended from very high in the skies and they have joined the parade, and they were indeed part of the parade. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, some of the air platforms of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force that I talked about earlier are inbound. They are approaching these parade grounds from the eastern direction. They are approaching these grounds from the eastern direction. They are led by the Cobra Formation. The Cobra Formation is composed of one Mi-17 helicopter piloted by Colonel Hassan Waiswa, and he is the pilot in command. It is in the front and it is carrying the national flag. We have another Mi-17 helicopter in the rear, and we have two escort attack helicopters, one Mi-24 helicopter gunship on the right and one Mi-28 helicopter gunship on the left. They are also part of the parade. And the pilot in command, Colonel Hassan Waiswa, has a message for His Excellency the President.
That from Ruto's dalliance with M23 rebels, the DRC president was visibly uncomfortable visiting Kenya for the summit, and thereafter he stayed for President Museveni's inauguration, a clear statement of his discomfort with Kenya's interference in DRC Congo. On the issue of peace in the Horn of Africa, Mr. Guterres, now that we are here in Kenya, we have severally warned about the war in Darfur, Sudan, Southern Sudan, DRC conflict, and Somalia. We have also spoken about Ruto's involvement through his good and direct assistance to rebels, especially Mr. Hemi.
Here they are, and they are part of the parade activities. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, the Cobra formation is followed by the Sparrow formation. The Uganda People's Defense Air Force has different types of aircrafts for different tasks, for different assignments, and all of them work together same mission. Aircraft, we have combat aircrafts of all types. We have surveillance aircrafts of all types. And we have aircrafts for different combat roles. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, approaching the parade grounds is the Sparrow formation of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force. And they are part of the parade. The parade is still ongoing with the participation of these select UPDF arms, and right now what we are watching before us is the Uganda People's Defense Air Force platforms. The Sparrow formation is followed by the Eagle formation. All these aircrafts, ladies and gentlemen, are piloted by Ugandan pilots, well trained, they know their job, and all Ugandans, wherever you are, you should be very proud of what your sons and daughters have been able to achieve. For instance, the pilot in command is Colonel Hassan Waiswa, a senior pilot. We have other pilots in helicopters we earlier saw, and flying overhead are the Eagle Formation, also of the Uganda People's Defense Air Force. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, next on display from the Uganda People's Defense Air Force is the Puma Formation. The Puma Formation is inbound here on the parade grounds. Puma 1, piloted by Captain Nathan Mwebaza, the pilot in command. Puma 2, piloted by Captain Ronald Baluku, the pilot in command. Puma 3, piloted by Captain Ronald Bogere, pilot in command. And Puma 4, piloted by Captain Stephen Bainomujisa, the pilot in command. And here they are. Puma Formation. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will have one of the Puma 4 aircraft coming back here on the parade grounds to conduct some maneuvers. And as I will remind you, the Uganda People's Defense Forces is composed of 4 services: the Land Forces, the Air Forces, the Special Forces, and the Reserve Force. All the 4 different services of the Uganda People's Defense Forces have been on display this afternoon. Puma 4 is here, one of our elite pilots. Puma 4, piloted by Captain Stephen Bainomujisa. Puma 4 is coming for one more round. And Puma 4 will be followed by the Tiger Sukhoi. And it is also inbound on this very significant and special ceremonial grounds. It is here and will be joining the parade any moment from now. Puma 4 is coming to exit and will be followed by the Tiger Sukhoi. Puma 4 is now exiting the parade grounds. Quite impressive indeed. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the last presentation from the Uganda People's Defense Air Force, the Tiger Sukhoi, and here it is on the parade grounds. The Tiger Sukhoi has joined the parade ground and is piloted by Lieutenant Emmanuel Sajabi, the pilot in command, and he is co-pilot is Lieutenant Sam Nkwasibwe. There it is, Lieutenant Emmanuel Sajabi and Lieutenant Sam Nkwasibwe in charge of the Tiger Sukhoi. The Tiger Sukhoi Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of the parade. We thank His Excellency, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, who joined us on this very special occasion and who is bidding us farewell. But the function continues. Back to the parade commander. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, that was the full UPDF parade. that was augmented by UPDF arms on display, the Artillery Division, the Motorized Infantry Division, some of the UPDF anti-aircraft systems, the UPDF Defense Air Force, the UPDF Defense Forces Air Force, and the paratroopers under the Special Forces Command.
Bendera zibyeke huko. Bwana tunanyosha misale. Usake. Misare nyuso. Komando haraka. Usawa kati. Barad mia. Salam Jalis. Asma. kofia kichwani tu. Jeshi la Ulinzi ya Wananchi wa Uganda, heshima na utii kwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Uganda na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu. Viva Rais wa Uganda! Viva wananchi wa Uganda! Viva Jeshi la Ulinzi ya Wananchi wa Uganda! Kofia kichwani weka. Badilisha! Kitu! Bendera Sabiaka! Wika! Tulia!
The parade commander, Brigadier General John Bosco Asinguza, is coming to ask for permission from His Excellency the President to remove the color party.
Mheshimiwa Rais, huo ndio mwisho wa gwaride. Naomba kutoa bendera uwanjani, Mheshimiwa Rais. Toa bendera! Toa bendera uwanjani! Gwaride!
His Excellency the President of Burundi will be followed by His Excellency
So, chukua madaraka.
the President of Togo, and we will continue to announce as appropriate when our distinguished heads of state and government leave these grounds. We request the members of the public
na kuomba kutoa gwaride uwanjani.
And we will continue to announce as appropriate when our distinguished heads of state and government leave these grounds. We request the members of the public
na kuomba kutoa gwaride uwanjani. Sawa, Parade Commander.
And all distinguished guests in your respective capacities to remain seated. Remain seated.
Gwanda tatoka uwanjani kwa mwendo wa haraka. Usawa clear kwa ujumla. Clear! Go!
Congratulations, Parade Commander Brigadier General John Bosco Sengoza, for a job well done. A big round of applause. He has now handed over the parade to the parade second in command, Colonel Stuart Agawa. Colonel Stuart Agawa, who will now proceed to march off the parade from the parade square. We salute the gallant officers, men and women, who have participated in today's parade, including the different arms of UPDF. So, after that, they will be, yeah.
Congratulations.
Huh?
Congratulations.
And then invite His Excellency to recognize the heads of state, and then address the nation.
Introduces.
She introduces.
Shall follow the proclamations.
Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to the officers, men and women, who have given us a very colorful parade performance. Thank you very much. I will now hand over back to my co-MC, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Vincent Bajire, who will in turn invite the Director of Ceremonies, Her Excellency, the Vice President, Honorable Jessica Alupo. Over to you, Honorable Vincent Bajire.
Thank you very much, Colonel Chris Magezi, indeed the commander of the parade, for that excellent job that you have done. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the Director of Ceremonies, Her Excellency the Vice President, will now congratulate His Excellency the President upon assumption of the highest office in the land. And thereafter, she shall introduce visiting heads of state and government to His Excellency the President. Your Excellency, Jessica Alupo.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, the parade commander has taken us through a very spectacular parade, march past in quick and slow time. And today, he decided also to entertain us with the UPDF paratroopers, SFC, the UPDF infantry, motorized infantry division, the UPDF artillery division, the UPDF anti-aircraft systems, and the UPDF Air Force platforms. Excellencies, I believe that he deserves appreciation. Join me in thanking His Excellency, the President, and the parade commander. What the parade commander has done is a clear demonstration that the commander-in-chief is prepared to defend the national interests of the people of Uganda, and indeed to secure the whole country and the region. Your Excellencies, visiting heads of state and government, and other distinguished heads of delegations, the Right Honorable Anita Among, the Speaker of Uganda Parliament, and your colleagues, the Speaker of the Senate of Kenya, the Right Honorable Kingi Amason, the Chairperson of the National Council of Namibia, the Right Honorable Lucas Sinimbo Muha, the Right Honorable Joseph Ngere Pasiko, the Speaker of the Transitional National Assembly of South Sudan, Her Excellency Mabo Memory Chinomona, President of the Senate of the Parliament of Zimbabwe, Right Honorable Joseph Ntakiru Timana, Speaker of East African Legislative Assembly, Right Honorable Dr. Ashebir Wolde-Georgis Gayo, First Vice President of the Pan-African Parliament, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice Flavian Zeija, the Chief Justice of Uganda, the Right Honorable Haji Moses Kigongo, the First National Vice Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, the Prime Minister of Uganda, the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, Right Honorable Richard Todwong, and your colleagues, Secretary Generals from sister parties, including Honorable Professor Abdel Karim Ben Barek, Secretary General of the National Liberation Front of Algeria, Honorable Dr. Asha Rose Migiro, Secretary General of Chama Chama Penduzi of Tanzania, the Honorable Mr. Fikile Mbalula, Secretary General of the African National Congress of South Africa, the Senator Hassan Omar Hassan of the United Democratic Alliance of Kenya, the Right Honorable Reverend Ndikuri-Rio, Secretary General of the National Council of the Defense of Democratic Forces of Defense of Democracy of Burundi, and Honorable Dr. Akol Paul Kodit, Secretary General of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement of South Sudan, and the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, the Right Honorable Abedlicho Mchube, Right Honorable Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, Prime Minister of the Rwanda Patriotic Front, and the Honorable Atupele Austin Muluzi, President of the United Democratic Front of Malawi. My colleagues, ministers present, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions, honorable members of parliament and other political leaders present, our cultural leaders, our religious leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I am now left with two brief items to present to you, and then I will proceed to welcome you to speak to us. And the first of the two brief items is to congratulate you. Your Excellency, I wish in a special way to welcome all delegations that have come from far and near to be part of this historic occasion. I take the singular honor to congratulate Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, on your election victory and indeed on your swearing in and inauguration, which has just taken place. Your Excellency's score of 71.65% in the 2026 presidential elections is evidence of the massive support that you and the NRM enjoy in the country. Your victory in all areas across the country also symbolizes your achievements, popularity, and the comprehension by all the people of Uganda in the politics of interests. Allow me to use this very opportunity to congratulate and thank the NRM party that nominated you as their preferred candidate and supported your re-election. I would like to thank all the candidates that participated in the electoral process at the presidential level, members of parliament, and in all other local government electoral positions. A very warm congratulations and thank you to you all Ugandans that took part and exercised your right to choose leaders at all levels. In a special way, Your Excellency, I wish to thank all those who rendered support in any way that they did for you, our candidate, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, during and after campaigns. Finally, today is an occasion to celebrate our constitutional order. The preparation for the entire election process was done in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. For that, I would like to thank the Electoral Commission for the meticulous preparation and execution of the elections under the law. This swearing-in ceremony is therefore a testimony that constitutionalism remains our pillar in exercising our mandate. I wish in a special way to thank the armed forces, the UPDF, the Uganda Police, Uganda prisons, and the intelligence services for securing the country during the entire elections period and for the peace and stability that has set the foundation for the economic growth of our country with the speculated $500 billion GDP annually in the very near future. Once again, Your Excellency, I extend my congratulations to you and wish you good health and success in the coming term of office 2026-2031. Lastly, Your Excellency, I associate with the theme of this swearing-in and inauguration ceremony, i.e., protecting the gains as we make a qualitative leap to the higher middle-income status and look forward to the new term of office. I thank you once again for joining us in your respective delegations on this momentous occasion. I am now left with one item, Your Excellency, and that is to quickly introduce to you the guests here present with us and all the people of Uganda. Firstly, Your Excellency, we are joined by His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Second, we have Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your Excellency, we also have His Excellency Daniel Francisco Chapo, President of the Republic of Mozambique. We have here with us His Excellency Fure Ezozina Gazimbe, President of the Council of Ministers of the Republic of Togo. And we also have His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency, we do have His Excellency Brahim Gali, President of Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. We also have His Excellency Felix Anthony Tshisekedi, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He left just a few minutes ago. Your Excellency, we are joined by His Excellency Bryce Clotaire Oligui Nguema, President of the Gabonese Republic. And we do have His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. And we do have His Excellency Taye Atske Selassie, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Your Excellency, permit me to introduce representatives of the heads of state and government here present. His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. His Excellency General Dr. C.G. Chiwenga and his dear spouse, Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. We have Her Excellency Gabriela Savila Jimenez Ramirez, Vice President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And we have the Right Honorable Dr. Titunga Elijah Ngurare, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Next, the Right Honorable Dr. Justin Nzenguyumva, Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda. And His Excellency Manuel Osa Nsue Nsua, Prime Minister of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea. And we have Senator Thulisile Dala, Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Your Excellency, may I also take this opportunity to introduce to you the former heads of state and government who have graced this occasion with their physical presence. We do have His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are joined by His Excellency Haile Mariam Desalegn Boshe, former Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Your Excellency, you are joined by His Excellency Jakaya Kikwete, the former President of the United Republic of Tanzania. We are also joined by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the former President. Thank you. Former President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I further take this opportunity to introduce and welcome the following representatives of the heads of state and government here present. We have His Excellency Azouz Nasri, President of the Senate of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. His Excellency Losang Jamkan, Special Envoy and Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the People's Republic of China. We have Senator George Akuma, Secretary to the Government of the Federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And His Excellency Abdoulaye Diop, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Mali. We do have Dr. Ohenyo Butale, Minister of International Relations of the Republic of Botswana. And we are joined by Her Excellency Olga Gisalaine Ebok Babakas, Minister of Social Development of the Republic of Congo. Your Excellency, we are joined by Honorable Angie Motsheka, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans of the Republic of South Africa. We have His Excellency Sheikh Kakbut bin Nahan Al Nahan, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of the United Arab Emirates. We have Her Excellency Onishi Yohei, Parliamentary Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan. We have His Excellency Atta Sadorov, Leader of the Democratic Party of the Republic of Turkmenistan. And we have His Excellency Mr. Dionisio Manuel da Fonseca, Minister of State and Chief of Civil House to the President of the Republic of Angola. We have Honorable Bella Chakesova, Deputy Minister of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media of the Russian Federation. We have Honorable James Gaka, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana. We are joined by His Excellency Engineer Walid bin Abdulkarim Al-Kareji, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have Honorable Mr. Jayan Chaudhry, Minister of State for Education, Skills and Development of the Republic of India. We have Mr. Nicholas Cheka, Senior Bureau Official for African Affairs of the United States of America. We have His Excellency Ambassador Aden Hassan Aden, Special Envoy of the Republic of Djibouti. And we have His Excellency Dr. Mutiba Luabelwa, Executive Secretary of the International Conference on the Great Lakes region. And we do have Honorable Ambassador Stephen Patrick Mbudi, Secretary General of the East African Community. And we have His Excellency Dr. Wokne Gebedehu, Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development. And we have Your Excellency in our presence, His Excellency Ambassador Hadadi Selma Malika, Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission. We have His Excellency Wang Gong, the Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa of the United Nations. And last but not least, we have Excellencies, Ambassadors, and High Commissioners accredited to Uganda, representing respective heads of state and government. And we have, Your Excellency, all members of cabinet present here, all members of parliament present here, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, Secretary General ODM Kenya, Honorable Catherine Omanyo. Your Excellency, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite you to address us. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Very nice speech.
Your names are difficult.
There are many, but you did a very
Excellencies, the heads of state who graced this occasion, as you heard the presidents, His Excellency Ndayishimiye, President of Burundi, His Excellency Fauri Ngasimbe, President of Togo, His Excellency Ibrahim Gali, Sahrawi Republic, His Excellency Felix Antoine Tshisekedi, Democratic Republic of Congo, our sister, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu, Tanzania, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, Somalia, His Excellency Oligui Nguema, Gabon, His Excellency Daniel Francisco Chapo, Mozambique, His Excellency Taye Selassie, Ethiopia, and His Excellency Salva Kiir, South Sudan, and the Vice Presidents. So, Your Excellencies, I welcome you to Uganda, and I thank you so much for showing solidarity with us. Now, among these Excellencies who are here, you, the Ugandans, especially the Bazukuru, the young people, Abazukuru Jemuli, Jemuli naye singa temufayo kubitegereza. Mutomera butomezi. Twalije. Nze jaja nkyali wano. Ngenda kubasomesa. I'm telling these grandchildren, Your Excellencies, I'm telling the grandchildren that they don't know much of the history. So on this occasion, I want to thank the people of Tanzania because we are here celebrating how Uganda is developing now, how UPDF is strong and so on. But the one who gave us the foundation was Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere. And I'm glad Our Excellency Samia is here, and I'm telling you in her presence, I'm telling you people. So never forget Tanzania. Then we have got a very tall man. I had not met him before. Our son from Mozambique, the tall man. You stand up and they see you. He's a very tall man. He's the new president of Mozambique. Mozambique, working with Mwalimu, are the ones who helped us to build this force which you see here. The 28 people I trained in Montepuez, 1976-78, are the ones who built this army which you see here. Then there is the Vice President of Kenya. When Ugandans were running away, many of them would run to Kenya. So those countries in particular, I want you to know how they helped us. I thank all the excellencies who have come here, and the vice presidents, and the prime ministers, and the ministers who have come here. They have shown solidarity with us. I thank them so much. Now, Your Excellencies, the visiting heads of state, heads of government, and heads of delegations, Her Excellency the Vice President of Uganda and other leaders, all the wananchi, especially the Bazukuru, muri mucha Bazukuru. N'Abanyayuganda balala bonna nafa abakadde temutwerabira. Habari nzuri wote. Mungu asifiwe. Apoyo Lubanga yebazibwe Katonda. Congratulations on the series of elections that we have been having ever since the 15th of January 2026. These were the presidential and parliamentary elections, district chairpersons, district councillors, sub-county chairpersons, and sub-county councillors. I especially congratulate our party, the NRM, for winning all those elections with big majorities. Abana-Uganda, mwebale kuwagira NRM. I also congratulate the other parties, such as the DP, the UPC, ETC, that participated in the elections without using violence, and like the party of NUP and some few elements of FDC that were using violence. The parties under IPOD should clearly lay out agreed guidelines on the do's and the don'ts of election management, according to the laws and the Constitution of Uganda. This Kisanja Excellencies is our term for a period. This Kisanja should be regarded as a Kisanja of no more sleep for all Ugandans. Kino ekisanja twetwetaaga abantu okwebaka ate nibekwasa kino nibekwasa kiri songa eddagala liwe liri. This Kisanja should be regarded as a Kisanja of no more sleep for Ugandans. With the advent of the NRM ever since 1986, the families that cared to listen to our message got out of poverty. Amaka agawuliriza okwabula kwaffe ne bakola babadda mu bwavu. I'm telling these, my Ugandans, that the families who have listened to our advice and worked the way we advised them, they got out of poverty. Do you want proof? Mwetaaga obukakafu kambubalage, nze nkozesa firimu sikozesa lugambo. Show us the real estate around Kampala. Show us. Mutulage. Show properly, don't switch off. You see all those houses? All those are new houses. And they are built by your own Ugandans. They are not built by foreigners. Yes, there are poor people in Uganda, but there are also those rich people you see there who listened and took advantage. Look at the real estate explosion. Uganda. In the last elections, I reminded you of the Matafari and Uganda contributions that the NRM has put on the House of Uganda in the last 40 years. Excellencies, during the campaign, I told these young people that NRM in the last 40 years has put a Matafari, which is our word for bricks, has put 7 matofari on the House of Uganda. In other words, the NRM has made 7 contributions to Uganda in the last 40 years. The first one, peace brought about by the NRM ideology of rejecting the politics of sectarianism caused by the reliance by the opportunists on the ideology of emphasizing identity of tribes, identity of religion, instead of emphasizing the interests of wealth creators that depend on their own sweat and developed countries. This is brick number 1. When we rejected the politics of sectarianism, of identity, of tribe, of religion. That's how we're able to unite the people. That's why we win on the first round, because the majority of the people are always with us. All these Bisanja, all these terms, 7 terms, we have never had a real run. We have never had anything below 50%. Why? Because we emphasized the politics of unity, not the politics of sectarianism, not the politics of identity, religion, tribes. If you say religion, there's no religion in Uganda which is majority. If you say sectarian tribe, there's no tribe which is majority. We will not get these numbers. So this is brick number 1, which we put on the Uganda House. Second point, development in the form of economic infrastructure, such as roads, electricity, the piped water, the railways, airports, telephones, etc., and social infrastructure in the form of schools, health centers. You can see some of those there on the screen. Number C, the brick number 3, wealth. You remember, I've been telling you, Enkula Kulana, in Swahili we say, maendeleo. But you can have maendeleo, in Swahili we must also have utajiri, wealth. So some people have been talking of roads, railway, electricity, but they never talk about wealth. And this is a mistake. So, from the beginning, we have been telling you that maendeleo, enkulakulana, development, yes, but utajiri, wealth, must be there. Obugaga. And the wealth is by whom? Utajiri ni wa nani? Unaweza kuwa utajiri wa serikali, utajiri wa watu binafsi, utajiri wa familia, utajiri wa company. The wealth can be for the government, parastatal, can be for the individuals, can be for the family or companies. So it is very crucial. And in the case of Uganda, we have been telling you that the wealth is in the 4 sectors: commercial agriculture, manufacturing and artisanship, services, and ICT. If you want wealth, these are the 4 sectors where wealth is. Then number 4, it is now the wealth. Once people create wealth, the wealth creates jobs. You cannot have many jobs without wealth. Huwezi kuwa na ajira ya kutosha bila kujenga utajiri wa serikali, wa binafsi, wa familia, wa company. Kujidanganya huko kuache. Mwache kujidanganya. Muleme okwelimba. Tusobola kubeera n'emirimo awatali bugaga. Then brick number 5 were services. Service delivery. The government must provide some services like security, like health, like justice. Those are done, education, those are done by the government, and the government has done it. Then number 6, market, soko. Tukizalisha mali, sisi wazalishaji mali, nani atanunua bidhaa zetu kwa wingi? If we create wealth and produce products, who will buy our products? So that's why the NRM, from the beginning, with our elders, Mwalimu, Nyerere, Kaunda, all of them were clear. You cannot talk of development without market. We must unite East Africa, unite Africa, so that we have a market that can absorb the products that we produce. The United States is a powerful country because they have got their parents created a big market for them. If I was in the USA, I would be a billionaire by now, because the market is there. You produce something in New York, it can be sold all the way to California. But here in Africa, the market was fragmented. But thanks to our partners in East Africa, we have united the East African market. All these leaders you see here, many of them are members of East African Community, of COMESA, of the African Union, the CFTA. So the market is now there. Then in the case of East Africa, we are talking of the political federation also, which will deal with the issues of security. Now, the NRM has been telling you that out of the 7 BRICS, NRM has put peace is now there, infrastructure is there, the service delivery of health care and schools is there, the market of East Africa is there, the market of Africa is there, we can also access the international market. So the problem is you now to do your part. And your part is in 2 areas. Wealth creation. Be part of wealth creation. Tozira bugaga, nze neerira bugaga. Nze njagala bwavu. Tombula ebyobugaga. Be part of wealth creation. And once you create wealth, you should also create jobs. Now, during the campaign, I showed you examples here. Let's see them, some of them again, a few of them. Basangwa.
Basangwa Johnson, Managing Director wa Jaka Poultry Farm. Jaka Poultry Farm eyaganibwa Bukwenge, Kamuli Municipality, Kamuli District. 2007 twatandika obulunzi nga tutandikira mu Kamuli County Council by then mu plot yali 50 feet by 100 feet. There's a foot atano ku 10. Twali nga tulina ebyobufuzi wano mu Kamuli nga waliwo ensonga nga chairman wero C5 omugenzi kawuga bamwidukira Katonda mu ekyumulo eky'emirembe nga bamutoyiremu abantu bangi abatamu application nga bali kwenda okufuuka ba chairman ba 5. Aye president yaida yatunungamya yakuba tubana abantu mwena tumusobola kuba ba chairman ba 5. Aye abantu mujje mukola emirimu egingi ng'okulunda yayogera kulunda embidi okulunda enkoko byonna yabyogerako. Nze napikinga mu kyokulunda enkoko n'atandika efaamu mu 2007 n'enkoko 5. Sawa dino wendogerera ku faamu kuno tize mabega nkambwire. President yaida yankyalira mu 2010 nga nina enkoko 5 yasanuka ino. Sawa dino tutambwire tulina enkoko mitwalo 10 tufulumya amagi etula 2,000 buli lunaku. Etula 2,000 livaamu miliyoni 2 buli lunaku. Omwezi liba miliyoni 6. Omwaka tuba tuli mu biliyoni ze 6 n'ekitundu etwatukolaki tuyingiza. So tuwuliriza omulamwa gwa president okuva ku kiseera ekyo kakati katukigiireko. President awaire musanufu ino ku bintu byenkoze era nga buli kaseera nkyekingako. Wendogerera kati tulina abakozi 300 betukozesa.
Now you remember I was giving you the example of Basangwa. In 2007, I found them fighting for the position of district chairperson, political position. There were many of them. I advised them, why do you all fight for politics? Why don't you look at wealth creation? And I told them what to do, which we have been telling you from 1996. The 7 activities that you can do on a small scale in agriculture and you get out of poverty. Basangwa listened to my advice, and he had a small plot of 20 feet, is it 50 feet by 100, I think. He started rearing chicken for eggs. So he's now a rich man, getting more than 7 billion shillings a year now. But not only is he a rich man now, but he's now employing 300 people. So a poor man who had no wealth, who had no job, now is a rich man, but also has created jobs for 300 other Ugandans, those ones you see there. Then we go to Joseph Ijara of Serere.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I am the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we also make laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti, and that time I was working as a taxi driver. He was doing that Massa business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and still came close. And the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually, I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So, but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm, we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at a price of 10,500. So approximately 3 million, about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get.
Now that is Joseph Ijara of Serere, who was wasting time as a taxi driver getting little money. So when he heard my speech, he had 2.5 acres back home. He went back and started rearing chicken for layers, for eggs, and dairy. Now he's getting a lot of money. He was saying that he's getting 3 million shillings per day from the eggs alone. But when I went back in the campaign, he's now getting more than 6 million shillings per day. That Ijara. Now, there is Nyakana. Let's see Nyakana now.
name is Nyakana Richard from Rwengaju. This village is called Rwengaju village in Karabarole, Port City. And where we are here is my home, and it's my farm. The biggest landlord in this village of Rwengaju is having 7 acres. People are surviving on quarter an acre, half an acre. 80% of the population here, they are on half an acre, they are on quarter an acre. This farm and this home is seated on 1.25 acres. It is surveyed land. And 1 acre of land here, where we are here, is costing 80 million Uganda shillings. It is very expensive to buy land. Our farm is called Kana Farm. It is having 4 economic activities. Number 1, we are in zero grazing of dairy cows. Number 2, we are in poultry, majorly for layer birds. Number 3, we are in feed processing for livestock. And number 4, manure production.
The screen is disturbing us.
With the poultry, we have 8,500.
But Nyakana is using 1.3 acres. He earns net more than 240 million shillings a year and is employing 15 people. Now, this is in 1.3 acres. Uganda has got 40 million acres of good arable land. If only 7 million acres were used the way Nyakana has done it here, just 7 million of the 40 million would create 105 million jobs, more jobs than the whole population of Uganda. I have reminded you that Uganda has a good arable land. If only 7 million of those acres were used the Nyakana way, would create 105 million jobs in small-scale commercial agriculture alone of the 4 acres model or less, and the 7 economic activities. This is before you talk of the big-scale commercial agriculture, such as Madvani, where employs 14,000 people at Kachira, before you talk of the manufacturers that are now employing 1.5 million people. Now, you can say, you Museveni, you are always talking of small people, of 4 acres and less. The Basangwas, the Ijaras, the Nyakanas. Oh no, you are mistaken. I support the big ones also. Let's see Madvani. Show us Madvani if you man, if you are not asleep. The one of the screen. You want the big ones? There they are. The big ones are there. But we struggle with the smaller ones because they are the ones who don't know what to do. The big ones, most of the time, know what to do. Or before you talk of the services such as hotels, like Sheraton, which employs 400 people. Let's see the employees of Kachira, the employees, the workers there, let's see. They are employing 14,000 people in Kachira. Let's look at Sheraton. Sheraton is employing how many people? Sheraton, if you have it. Sheraton is employing 400 people. Let's look at Mbare. Those are employees of Sheraton. See how smart they are. Let's look at Mbare Industrial Park. Mbare Industrial Park. Freeze it. Go back a bit. Freeze there. You can see how many young people are employing in that industrial park. It has got now, when I was last there, it had like 80 factories, and it was employing 20,000 people. This is just one of them. So, the message of the NRM is 2 words: wealth, obugaga, utajiri is the one which produces jobs. Ajira, I think in Swahili they call it ajira. Emirimu, jivambugaga. The four sectors, commercial agriculture, manufacturing, service, and ICT, for now have both low and high-skilled jobs. So don't say you Museveni, you are talking of only low-skilled jobs. Yes, the Nyakana jobs, the ones of Basanga, those are low skills. But let me show you the high-skilled jobs. Chira, show them Chira Motors. Chira Motors. And the Karuma. Now all those are skilled workers. Let's see the ones of Chira. Obadde ki? Alambaire kulambala yebase balambalira. Now those are all high-skilled workers. Let's see what they are producing. Show us the buses. When they get out of sleep, they will show us. Let's continue. So, those are the buses now, produced by your own people from zero. Totally designed and produced by. There is crying about petrol in the world. For us, we shall go electric. If the petrol disappears, we have got electric buses here. We have no problem. So, The challenge of the NRM is that there is peace, there is infrastructure, there is services in schools and health centers, there is market of Africa, but you must be engaged in wealth creation. As an individual, as a family, or a company. And then the wealth you create will produce jobs. And in the case of Uganda, we have got the 4 sectors: commercial, agriculture, big or small, manufacturing, services like hotels, and ICT. The 4 sectors, commercial, agriculture, manufacturing, services, and ICT, for now have both low and high-skilled jobs. In 2013, only 32% of the homesteads in Uganda were in the money economy. At independence in 1963, only 9.4% were in the money economy. On account of the work of Operation Wealth Creation and PDM, the homesteads in the money economy are now 67%. The other 33% are still outside, but must also join the money economy. When all the families in Uganda join the money economy in the 4 sectors, there will be so many jobs that all our nearly 2 million refugees from the brother countries of Africa that are here will get jobs, and we will have to import other workers from the brother African countries. With more value addition for our agricultural raw materials, our mineral raw materials, our forest raw materials, plus our knowledge economy of automobiles, vaccines, pharmaceuticals, and electronics, there will be more people in manufacturing, services, and ICT than in agriculture. This is where we need to retune our educational system to concentrate on imparting skills to learners that are needed in the labor market, and scale down on random education, or be clear to the learners and parents that certain courses are just for interest and may not create jobs for the wielders of these skills. In Uganda here, we are always talking about the importance of value addition that I've just mentioned here. With the presence of so many African brothers and sisters and friends from outside Africa, I cannot fail to point out the strategic mistakes many of the African ruling elites have been making for the last 70 years, ever since the independence of Sudan, Khartoum, in 1955. The mistake of exporting unprocessed or semi-processed raw materials of minerals, agricultural products, etc. This is a strategic blunder. Let us take gold as an example. If you export a kilogram of unprocessed gold, 84% pure, recently you have been getting US dollars 60,000. If the gold is processed to 99.9% purity, you get US dollars 168,000. Look at the difference in value. However, you do not only donate money to the outsiders per kilogram of gold, per kilogram of coffee, you also donate jobs. All those refining jobs go to the outsiders. That is not all. At 84% pure, that gold cannot be used as bullion, as currency, nor can it be used as an input in other industries such as jewelry, electronics, aerospace, etc. That is one of the reasons Africa's economy has remained stunted 70 years after the African countries started regaining their freedom. Africa is 4 times the land area of the USA and 12 times the land area of India, with a present population of 1.5 billion people that will be 2.5 billion in the next 30 years. Yet our total GDP is only US dollars 3.6 trillion, while that of the USA is US dollars 32 trillion, China 20.65 trillion, India USD 4.18 trillion. This hemorrhage must stop. That is where here in Uganda we banned the export of unprocessed minerals and try to get people to address value addition here for all the other raw materials that make profits. In the African economies, we must ensure both vertical and horizontal integration. Africa's GDP should at least be 60 trillion US dollars, if not more. Our friends from outside of Africa should also help us to achieve this. If they see far, they will see that this is also in their own interest. If you are a clever capitalist, why would you want to do business with a poor man with a small purchasing power? I regard myself as a clever capitalist. I produce milk. I want many Ugandans and many Africans to buy my milk. However, they cannot buy my milk unless they have money in their pockets. Luckily, I am both a clever capitalist and also a Christian, as well as a patriot. And I therefore love God with all my heart, and I love my neighbor as I love myself. I'm therefore working feverishly to put money in the hands of Ugandans for them to get out of poverty, improve their purchasing power, and also improve their milk consumption per capita from the present 60 liters to 210 liters recommended by WHO for the sake of the calcium of their teeth and their bones. I also pray the same happens in the whole of Africa and the world. The phenomenon of Uganda having more jobs than local labor force is not new. The small enclave economy of the British Times, the economy of the 3 C's and 3 T's, could not get enough workers locally, although it was only covering 9.4% of the homesteads. That is how our brothers from Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, South Sudan, Tanzania came. You listen to our message and wake up, kuzukuka, given our raw materials base of Uganda, the present population of Uganda of 48 million people will not be enough to manage a developed Uganda. In small-scale agriculture, in order to support PDM with zero grazing chicken, pigs, goats, turkeys, sheep, cattle, we must solve the problem of water up to the whole household level, or up to at least the village, where one can use a wheelbarrow to bring the water to zero grazing areas. The current woman MP for Ntungamo, the Honorable Josephine Kamateneti, has developed an interesting model that uses solar-powered water pumps and wells, amaziba, or uzi, in the areas of Uganda that have got Enshuro spring. She uses 8.1 million shillings for a village. The homesteads can then use wheelbarrows to bring the water to their homes. How can this model be adapted to the boreholes for the areas with no Enshuro? With fish farming, before I go to the fish farming, I wanted to show you Wagagai in Busia, the value addition to gold. If you have it, show it quickly. Now, freeze that one. Each one of those is fully refined gold in Busia. And each one is a kilo. And each one is now costing $168,000. If you sell and process gold, 84% pure, a kilo, you'll get only $60,000. So you see the wastage. Africans are really in trouble. How can you throw away your wealth like that? You are losing more than $100,000 in every kilo of gold. And then you say you will solve your problem. How would you solve the problem? With fish farming in the Miga edges of the wetlands, the government will help the communities with the earth-moving equipment to make the fish ponds, the solar-powered water pump, to pump water and aerate with oxygen and protect the fish against snakes. The issue of fish fries, nyanja, and fish feeds is also being addressed. The support for all the other sectors, big commercial farmers, manufacturing, artisanship, services, ICT are contained in the government's Fourth National Development Plan, NDP4. No more excuses. These programs are not in other countries, they are here in Uganda, in every parish, every constituency, in UDB. If anybody is diverting the money, you, since 1986, are empowered to deal with him or her because of the democratic local councils, where you are the ones who elect the leaders. Join the parish savings circle and directly participate in the management of the savings circle. If the money is not enough, tell your MPs to work with me in Kampala to concentrate more money in PDM instead of okumemerera, scattering the okumansamasa, scattering the money in many other programs. Especially for agriculture, you need to protect our environment. We need our wetlands for both our rain and irrigation. We need our forests for the rain and protecting the catchment areas of the river systems, the Elgon, the Rwenzori, the Mabera systems, the Seziwarwajari systems, the Mayanja Kafurugogo systems, and River Kajera systems. All the rice growing and potato growing in the swamps must stop. And where the terrain allows, we replace rice growing with fish farming at the edge of the swamp, which is more profitable. Then the wetlands come back for irrigation, indigenous medicine, and rain formation. Then we come to the restoration of the natural forests, which guarantee for us the availability of the indigenous medicines, genetic materials, protecting the catchment areas and the rivers and rain formation. I thank the brother countries and sisters from Africa and friends from outside Africa that joined us today on this occasion. Kati rwekwaso zikomye tetwagala rwekwaso. No more excuses. Everybody weareth creation. Ate obugaga bwe buzaala emirimu. I thank everybody. I would now like to ask His Excellency Ndaishimie,
I think he ignored that.
Yeah.
who is the head of the African Union,
Yeah, that's fine.
but
He's
also
inviting,
President of Burundi,
the Burundi president.
because he's the chairperson of the African Union, to come here and greet you on behalf of the visiting president. Thank you so much.
Uganda oye! Uganda oye! Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Head of State and Government, distinguished guests, great people of Uganda, Waliorcha, it is a profound honor and a singular joy for me to stand before you today alongside the distinguished guests gathered here on this great day in the history of the Republic of Uganda. Beyond the beginning of a new presidential mandate, your election, Your Excellency President Museveni, stands as a powerful affirmation of the enduring peace, stability, and institutional continuity that Uganda has cultivated over the years. Your Excellency, your renewed mandate comes at a defining moment for our beloved Africa continent. By inaugurating this new term under the theme Securing the Gains and Advancing Towards a Prosperous and Emerging Nation, you have once again demonstrated your steadfast patriotism, visionary leadership, and unwavering commitment to the progress of Africa as a whole. Your Excellency, we have followed with admiration the remarkable transformation Uganda has achieved under your stewardship. During the years of your leadership, your nation has undergone profound progress in the field of security, social cohesion, and economic development. Through sustained economic growth, strategic investment in infrastructure, and policies aimed at reducing poverty and improving livelihoods, Uganda has steadily positioned itself among the continent's most promising emerging economies. Your Excellency, at this occasion, I would like to pay special tribute to your invaluable contribution to the restoration and the consolidation of peace in Burundi. At a critical moment in our history, your leadership, wisdom, and personal commitment played a decisive role in supporting dialogue, reconciliation, and stability in my country. The people of Burundi will always remember with gratitude your tireless efforts in favor of peace, not only within our borders, but throughout the Great Lake region. Also, in our region, you are rightly regarded as an elder statesman, a wise and respected senior leader whose counsel continues to guide efforts toward peace, unity, and cooperation among our nations. That is why, on behalf of the people of Burundi and all those who have directly benefited from Uganda's progress and hospitality, I wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Republic of Uganda and to you personally, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, as I conclude, I wish to warmly congratulate the people of Uganda for the confidence they have once again placed in His Excellency President Museveni. In doing so, you have reaffirmed your attachment to peace, stability, resilience, and wise leadership. It is my sincere hope that this new mandate will usher in even greater prosperity and opportunity to every Ugandan family. May your wisdom, dear brother President Museveni, continue to enlighten our continental dialogue, and may the bonds of fraternity and cooperation between Uganda and the nations of Africa grow ever stronger. May Almighty God bless our great Africa continent. May God bless Uganda and its courageous people. I thank you very much. Mwebale.
Abarundi barahari. Abarundi baravuga ki? There are many Burundis here. We are now entering Chisanja, no more sleep. And we are entering Chisanja, no more corruption. You heard the prayers. You heard the prayers of the bishop. That prayer of the bishop should be captured properly. Okusaba kwa bishop kukolomedde ababbi. No more corruption, no more sleep. NRM oye. NRM ebeo.
Your Excellency, I would like to thank you for the address to the nation and seek your guidance on how to proceed with the two entertainment items which are on our program. If it pleases you, Your Excellency, I now invite Legacy to make their presentation in less than 5 minutes. And as they are coming, I I request all of you to join me again in thanking His Excellency the President for that comprehensive address to us. And very quickly, Your Excellency, also, I would like to mention that all the RDCs are here, the RCCs, the LOC5 chairmen, the NRM chairmen from all districts are here joining you in this momentous occasion. Legacy, you have the floor. Less than 5 minutes.
Echaru sojera, echaru sojera, ejuguni shimurangaru. Echaru sojera, echaru sojera, ejuguni shimurangaru. Echaru sojera, echaru sojera, ejuguni shimurangaru. Ochibia, ochibia, ochibimani, ochibia. Nimwebare, nimwebare, ochibara matau. Nimwebare, nimwebare, nimwebare. Amasanya kaunga, mwebaro kutaunga. Ochibara, ochibia. Amanabare kase, mwebaro mwakora. Ochibara matau. Ochibia, ochibia, ochibara matau. Nimwebare. Abarakase, mwebare mwakora. Ochibare, amanabare kase, mwebare mwakora. Nimwebare, nimwebare, ochibara matau. Mwebara
Thank you very much for that performance, Legacy. May I now invite Uweso, and thank you for keeping time. Uweso, please come on the stage and entertain His Excellency the President, our newly inaugurated President, and our treasured guests here present. Your Excellency, Uweso is now coming on stage, also to use less than 5 minutes to entertain you and our guests.
In 1986, the story starts. A child stood silent, tears in the heart, no food, no school, no song to sing. Till Mama Janet came with hope on wing. USA rose and stretched her hand, spread love and hope across the land. Musei stood firm, right by Mama's side, turned to hope and fear to pride. We thank you for our dear God and my country.
Weso.
Thank you very much, Weso. Thank you very much for that thematic entertainment song. Your Excellencies, we are joined by Mr. Fadil El-Mehi, Special Envoy from Libya. Your Excellencies and visiting heads of state, let me now use this chance to thank you once again for your time and patience, and most important, the brotherliness between our country and your countries. Your Excellency and visiting heads of state and government, distinguished visitors, we have now come to the end of our proceedings this afternoon. We shall now have the anthems in reverse order. Band Commander. Excellencies, let me request all of us to resume our seats and remain composed as His Excellency the President says farewell to his guest visiting heads of states, beginning with His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. And next will be the President of Somalia. His Excellency the President of Burundi is departing, and next is His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud.